Hello, and welcome back to this collective and timeless reading. This is Easter Tarot, and today I'm going to be just channeling in what messages. We already got cards already. Actually, those aren't it. Sorry. I guess that is not the reading. Whoa. What's with these cards today? They're really jumpy. We're going to be just checking in with what messages we need to hear today, but they're pretty forceful. So I guess we really need to hear it today. So we got first 10 of Wands, the Magician, and the Milky Way. Okay. Right off the bat, I'm getting the sense that you have a lot of potential. You have a lot of things that you could be doing, because it's like you've sort of unlocked your own realization that you can be the magician, that you have all this infinite potential. And so now you're grabbing all these wands like, I want to do everything. Yeah, it's like you want to have it all. You want to do it all. But I think actually what's going on here is that you're trying to do it all on your own as well. That's what's going on. Yeah. You kind of want to be the person that can do it all on their own and not have to rely on anyone. And that might be because you've maybe had some experiences where you got burned a bit, that you don't trust others with things that are close to your heart. And so now you're kind of like this rabbit with all the wands. You're like, I can do it all, but I mean, can he even walk right now? He's got a lot on his plate. He's holding them well, but he's not going to make much progress that way than if he just practiced with one wand, right? And that's what the Milky Way is bringing on. It's that we're a collective, right? We're a collective of souls. We make up a stream, right? And we can do so much more than just as our individual selves when we work as a collective. I'm also getting that you're trying to help the collective as well. Like you're trying to really, now that you feel that you can do this and you've decided this, you kind of want to help the collective. And I think you kind of are. And maybe you're taking on a lot to do that. Yeah. You're very multifaceted. You want to try everything. Yeah. The Hermit. Yeah, that's kind of confirmation right there, right? You're sort of a hermit. You want to do it all on your own. And there's nothing wrong with that, actually. If you want to go an individual journey, that's okay. That's okay. But, be open to a little help now and then, because, we have such synergy when we open up to others and when we let others in. And when we try to create things with others, we can do so much more. Sorry, I'm really, I feel like I gotta blow my nose or something. I'm a little stuffed up. And today I brought in a piece of polished selenite. Just felt like there was a need for cleansing, protection. It's a very angelic stone, but and it also doesn't ever need to be cleansed. It cleanses itself and it cleanses other stones, it's very helpful that way. But it does need recharging, so maybe you need a bit of a recharge, which is why I brought it in today. Yeah. Yeah, be open to being part of a collective, I think, is something you need to think about. They can help you with these burdens so that you don't get so slowed down by trying to do it all on your own. But then again, I think you can also, if that doesn't resonate, I think this could also be saying that, maybe being with others is a bit of a drain for you, and you have to go into hermit mode to recharge so you can do that work. Yeah, sometimes it's a little much. Got King of Wands on the bottom. Yeah, so you're trying to be the King of Wands here. You're trying to you're trying to do it all. I'm gonna get another card here, I think, from Land's Guide as well. Yeah, let's just see. Get a little more information here. Oh. One sec. Sorry about that. A bunch of cards fall on the ground. And I just thought, well, I kind of want to investigate what they are just to see. And these were the only cards that were upturned. So it kind of felt, you know, like they were insisting on being here. So I'm just going to go with it. You know, we got the Nine of Cups. So we got a little rabbit with all his cups there. He's looking very satisfied. King of Wands again. So clearly wasn't meant to be ignored. And the Five of Cups. Yeah. So I think what I'm getting from this is that you believe, you know, you want to become the King of Cups. That's why you're pushing so hard with these wands. Yeah, the King of Wands. So did I say King of Cups? But yeah, you want to be the King of Wands. And so with this, there's sort of an issue where, again, you're trying to have it all. And maybe you're just, you're still having this struggle with lack. Yeah. Maybe that's what this this push to have it all is about, that you've had some losses and you're kind of like, I don't want to ever have loss again. I don't ever want to have regrets again. And so I'm going to do everything. I'm going to do it all. But the problem with that is you're not really enjoying any of it. If you're pushing yourself so hard, or you're pulling your energy in so many directions, right? Yeah, so I'm getting a bit of a clear message of the story here. Yeah. And there's a message about, like, with Nine of Cups, like, I usually take this as like a really nice, like, you're very satisfied, you're happy, you're having a good time with your cups, you know, but sometimes there's a warning against arrogance there. And I don't think you're arrogant. I just think that it's like there is maybe an overconfidence there that you can just keep going and pushing and doing it all without regard for how you're feeling about it. Because maybe deep down, pushing so hard is making you miserable. And you want to be the King of Wands. You want to be in your power. And part of that is having the balance, right? Having the balance of being happy with what you're doing and pushing yourself enough, but not so hard that you become resentful, right? Because, you know, that's what kills the joy and creativity, is pushing yourself so hard that you burn out, right? So be mindful of that, you know, and take it as it resonates. If it doesn't, you know, just, you know, these readings, you got to interpret it as it applies to you, right? So, because there's, you know, different people tuning in. So yeah, what's our best guidance in this situation? Keep ourselves balanced, keep ourselves from doing just to do, you know? Oh, there we go. Compassion, yeah. Ahimsa. Yeah, and I always think of, like, inner child with the loon, because it's, I don't know if you can see it there, but it's carrying its baby on its back. Loons do that, and it's such a sweet little thing. Kind of like, I think swans do that as well. I don't know. It kind of melts my heart. But, you know, take care of your inner child and take care of you, you know? You need to make sure you're having joy and happiness in what you're doing, because if you push it so far that you lose that, you're not going to continue with this energy. You're not going to be able to keep it up. It's going to take a lot out of you. Okay. Actually, I think I'm going to get crystal. Get some crystal advice. Yeah. See what crystals have to say. Yeah, it's hard when you want to do multiple things. Like you're like, oh, I want to learn this instrument, and I want to learn how to paint. I want to learn how to do this sport or this hobby. Like it's so easy to get lost in all those things that you forget to really immerse yourself in one experience. It's hard. It's hard not to lose it. Celestite. We had some celestite in another reading, a crystal here. Very angelic stone. Connected to the celestial realms. So it feels like guidance from your angels to let you know that they're watching over you. And they want, I think they're delivering this message because they're concerned that you're not enjoying your experience. That you're, you could lose your way if you don't connect in with yourself, tune in with yourself. Then again, maybe it's just simply a call to connect with them. Because maybe that's all that's missing is that, because, if we don't connect with the spirit realms, you can believe whatever you want, but I think when we lose that connection, life starts to feel a little meaningless. It starts to, we kind of lose our sparkle a bit. I don't know. I find when I don't connect or pray or even do tarot readings for a couple days, I start to feel a little dull. I start to feel a little bit like less, like I just don't feel as, and it's not quite depression. It's like, how to describe it? It's just sort of, things are just not as colorful. You don't notice the little things as much. You're not as bright, Maybe it's just your vibration not as bright in the world. Yeah, but they're wanting to connect with you, so maybe that's what you got to do. Yeah, because Milky Way here could be about that. You're trying to do all these things to be connected to spirit. And that's what this Magician card is about. You're trying to do all that. Raise up your hand and connect with the divine. But you're trying to do it through maybe just trying to do all the spiritual activities. Like, I'm going to meditate and I'm going to buy a bunch of crystals and I'm going to do tarot and, do all these things, or go to church. I don't know. or, do a bunch of yoga. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And all those things are actually great. Those are great activities for finding that connection. But it's easy to get lost in just like, I'm going to do all these activities rather than in the activity itself, really try to tune into that connection. Because the Milky Way is here to remind you that there is something above us that we're part of. We're all part of a big soul collective here on Earth. And there's an angelic realm too that wants to connect. Maybe this is even tying into being an earth angel. Because I think that's what maybe the hermit is reminding you of. Like maybe you do need that time alone to get away from the collective as well that's like happening in our day-to-day lives, because sometimes that can be like everybody else's energies can be a lot, especially if you're an earth angel or some kind of star seed. When you're a different type of soul, it can be really heavy here. And that's what gets really frustrating, is that, life demands us to be really social and very just a certain way in life, but we really, not all of us can do it. Not all of us can, and that's okay. Like we're not all meant to be the same. We really aren't. Like that would be silly. Life demands variety. The nature of life is to want novelty in the human race as well as everything else. So, you know, if you're different, you're different. That's okay. You don't have to be like everybody else. You can find your own way. And maybe that's what the message of the Five of Cups is as well. Like maybe you have these two sides of yourself that, you know, you want to be that person that does it all and outwardly appears like you have everything going, but inside you're kind of tired of having so many cups. You kind of want to simplify, maybe. It's kind of draining you. Yeah. Yeah, just be open. Be really open to guidance, because maybe less is more in this situation. Maybe you need to quiet your mind more rather than make it noisy with all these different things you have to do. Yeah. Maybe just pick meditation as like your sole thing right now, or it doesn't even have to be meditation. Maybe just quiet. Yeah, sit outside and quiet and nature. To me, that's one of the things that I do that really help me to feel reconnected with the world. And most human beings too, actually, because we're not really meant to be in buildings all day under fluorescent lights. We're supposed to be outside. We're supposed to be in nature. We're supposed to interact and move with the energies of nature. And we're just living this existence that's so strange. It's so strange the way humans live on Earth. It's not how it's supposed to be, or at least there's a reason it's like that. We kind of got here over time, but you know, maybe we need to just find time for nature and quiet, like and for a while, like spend an hour outside in the quiet, and you'll be surprised what comes to you, what messages come from nature, what guidance comes in your mind from other realms. Like, you know, just be open. I think that's the biggest thing is being open. You don't need a bunch of tenets in a spiritual practice or religion to understand spirituality. Yeah, you know what to do. Exactly, you know what to do. Archangel Uriel. Trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. So, you know, we'll put that with the Celeste here. Or I'll just... There we go. Yeah, we'll just squeeze her in there. But you know what to do. You know what, like, your soul knows what to do, right? Your soul knows what feels right. We just get confused because we get distracted by all these messages about who we're supposed to be from TV and society and the internet. Like, and comparison is the thief of happiness, right? Yeah, okay, it's 2. All right. So we'll do 2. Remember who you are. Yeah. And that could be back to the Earth Angel message. Archangel Michael, he is such a great angel to call upon if you have attachments you need to disconnect with or unhealthy thinking patterns. Use Michael's sword. He'll lend you his sword to cut the ties to your old life. You're a powerful, loving creature of God. Creature of God. That kind of goes back to animals, doesn't it? You are a powerful, loving, and creative child of God. You are very loved. Yeah, so they're trying to send you some love as well, because I think you're being a little tough on yourself. Slow it down a bit. They're saying slow it down. Be a little more gentle and be a little more open. Like, you can't live a life without fun. That's something I'm definitely hearing clearly. You can't live your life without fun and enjoyment. So make sure, what am I doing here? What's going on with this reading? Yeah. Just be a little playful. A little more open to play. Prosperity, yes, that's where your prosperity is going to come in. Yeah, because maybe this is a bit of a fear going on about you know, 'cause it's that hustle culture, right? Like be always earning, be always capitalizing on your talents, creating content or monetizing, you know, like just all that. It's not about that. It's about, are you doing something that fulfills you? Are you doing something that makes you feel like you're helping? Something that makes you feel powerful? You know, it's a lot more questions like that. Now, what am I going to do with you? Let's see. Let's reconfigure here. I think I want to move you in the middle. So that's our ultimate goal, right? King of Wands. You're trying to get to be the King of Wands. There's a lot of reconfiguring going on in this tarot reading, and usually things go smoothly. So it kind of makes me wonder, maybe you need to really reorganize your life. Like the daily look of it. Or maybe even that's not even about organization, it's about being willing to mix it up, right? Because if you do the same thing every day, you're going to get bored of it. You just are. It's going to get boring. And you're not going to keep up with it if you're trying to do something new or trying to have like a certain look to your life. I don't know if that makes sense, but like trying to like follow like a celebrity routine or something like that. Not aren't necessarily doing that, but you know what I mean. Like sometimes people get attached to like, well, if I just do what this person does, I will feel, you know, like that person does. But that routine works for that person, right? And they form that routine by figuring it out themselves. And you got to figure that out for yourself as well. And it doesn't even have to be like a routine. You could just, you know, live life in flow. See what you want to do every day. Ask yourself what you want to do every day. Because, like Uriel says, you know what to do. Inside, you know what you want. But I think you're telling yourself that that's wrong and that you need to do this other thing in order to be I don't know, I guess be more or be I'm not sure what you're trying to be, because we're all okay. Like we're all complete. You know, we just forget that. We just forget that we're perfect as we are. So I'm going to get some archetypes here. Oh, why am I shuffling so bad? Maybe it's just did my hands shrink? I can't seem to hold the cards. But maybe that's how you feel in your life. Actually, yeah, 10 of Wands. He's struggling to hold all those wands because he's putting too much on his plate. Yeah. Is that how you feel? Is it, you know, because like if you have a to-do list and you do it all, but then are you doing it well, or are you feeling stressed and struggling? The Maiden. Yeah, I always think of divine feminine energy with this. So maybe you need to tap into more feminine energy, that because we live in a culture that's very much about the masculine, very much about the action, do, push, 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 make things happen. But sometimes the Maiden is about slowing down and receiving, about being still. If the masculine is action, the Maiden is inaction, but it doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means that things are being allowed to happen rather than being made to happen. So, and that's also goes to how you treat yourself as well. Compassion, right? Have a more loving energy towards yourself. Because the masculine energy can be very strict, authoritarian. You must do this, you must do that at this time. But maybe that doesn't work for you. Maybe you're just not that kind of person, you know? I think a lot of us aren't, and we were all taught to be one way in this culture, and it just doesn't work for us. Here we go. The Self. Yeah, and oh my god, doesn't that look like the selenite there? And it shines like the selenite too. Multifaceted. It's beautiful. Yeah. You are multifaceted. You are a person that oh, and I just caught my eye to the wands here. Doesn't the way the wands spread out look like that as well? So maybe it's just showing you that you can be that person that you think you're trying to be, or you're the person you're trying to be there with the wands. You already are, but you have to allow yourself to be that. Do it in your own way, right? And there's actually another card hidden here. The Queen. The Queen. Yeah, this is how you become the Queen. Go from the maiden to the Queen, right? Yeah, this is really interesting reading. Gosh, this reading is all over the place. But you know what? I'm trying to fit everything in here, and I'm struggling with it. I'm reshuffling everything. Isn't that, again, like the Ten of Wands here? You're trying to fit too many things into your day. That's what I'm hearing. And you got to slow it down and take each day one step at a time. Maybe just focus on one thing each day. Maybe that would be a better strategy for you. Because I think you get overstimulated. I think that's part of the issue here. I think you get a bit overstimulated, and then you're like, I need a nap. And then you're mad you took a nap, which is crazy because you need to just not push yourself to the point that you need a nap, right? That's not doing things in the right flow still. Like, I think you're trying to redo your life in a way that works for you, but it's you're bringing old patterns into it, and that is what has to stop. So funny, you got the King here, and then you got the Queen here. Yeah, you're trying to be the King of Wands, and a king has got that masculine energy, but maybe you need to bring Queen energy into it. Be the Queen of Wands instead of the King of Wands, because the Queen, she doesn't necessarily she doesn't do things that she doesn't want to. It sounds strange, but she doesn't do things in a way that she feels like she's pushing or forcing herself or harming herself or fighting against herself. Yeah, you're fighting against your impulses, but you actually need to lean into them. You need to lean into the moon here. And the snake makes me think of Kundalini. Maybe you just have to... Oh, and you got, I think it's like a lotus here. I think maybe you're trying to make up for lost time that you spent in the trenches, you know? I think you went through, because I think of lotus, I think of the lotus growing out of the mud. You know, the lotus has to go through a lot of struggle and pain. Sort of a metaphor for the human soul, right? And then it becomes this beautiful lotus, but it has to push its way through mud first. And that's like our experience on Earth. But I think because of that, you think you have to kind of compensate for it. You got to, and be like, I have to be the best lotus ever because look at all this pain. If I don't bloom spectacularly, then was it all worth it? But that's not what you need to do. You need to just allow the unfolding. And that will be the most beautiful expression of all, right? Is that you allow yourself to unfold gently and peacefully. And that's what is going to unlock your Kundalini. That is what is going to unlock your highest potential. Yeah. This was very interesting. I was a little confused at the beginning, but now I'm kind of like, yo, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense. You know what to do. You know what you like. You know what makes you happy. So just do that. Just go for it. Don't resist your enjoyment. I think you kind of learned a lesson at some point that you have to push against your impulses. Like, I want to do this right now, but I have to do this. Maybe you should just let yourself do what you want, because sometimes when we're in a relaxed state and we do things that we want instead of what we think we need to do, we actually get where we need to go faster. It's like sometimes we play hooky for a day, but then we end up getting this brilliant idea. And before that, we had been pushing and pushing, trying to be like, no, I got to sit down and work out this idea or work out this solution. Or it's like when people say sleep on it, you know? Sleeping doesn't seem like a productive way to solve something, but sometimes when we just rest, we actually get the solution we need in our dreams, or our mind just has time to process, and then suddenly it brings the solution when we least expect it. So I think there's a message about that and your prosperity. That's what will bring you the highest prosperity. And it's true about things that you do in life. The best job or best activity for you in life is something that feels effortless. It's something that you do because you love it, not because you feel you have to do it, right? Those are the most successful people, are the people that are doing something they love because they can do it endlessly. You're always going to have an edge if you're doing something that just brings you joy, if it feels like fun, right? Do what you feel is fun. And that's what will bring you the highest success, if that's what you really want. But it's not even about success. It's about you. It's about the self. Oh my gosh. The train. That was such a long call from the train. Well, there's your confirmation. It's about you. The self. It's about doing what brings you joy, lights you up. It's not about proving it to anybody or making anybody else happy. It's about making you happy, right? It's just about being on this earth to express yourself, the highest form of your being, right? That's what you need to do. That's all there is to it. Just decide that you don't care. I know it sounds strange, but decide you don't care about what anybody thinks or what the results would be. Just do what you do want to do because you love it. And that's all there is to it. All right, I thank you so much for staying to the end. I know this reading was a little chaotic, but like, I think it was a really good one. So, I'm really happy with the message. I think that was a great message for, everyone listening. And yeah, leave a like to help the algorithm and the channel, and leave a comment if it resonated. I hope it did. And yeah, just keep focusing on yourself and your happiness. Follow your joy, follow your happiness, and it won't lead you astray. All right, I'm signing off for there. Take care.